Well, here I am, and I'm lucky enough to be having a huge amount of people hopefully jumping in the chat, and I'm back with my wolf pack. I'm going to bring him in one by one. Somebody gave me a bit of a nudge the other day, and I'm going to bring him in first because without him giving me a push, it probably wouldn't have happened. So I'm going to bring in the eskate nomad, the wanderer, the man himself, Thomas.
What's up, Craig? Yeah, we'll need a little bit of a nudge from a friend. So yeah, love the fact we got you have got everyone together. So we'll see
look,
who else is coming up in the live.
It's a bit of a push, but mate, I'm just glad you gave me a bit of a push and a nudge because we've been threatening to do this for such a long time, and without doing it, it would never have happened. So thanks very much for giving me the push, and I well deserved. I'm going to bring in everybody because we all have to be here because it's not part, it's all. So the next person is my travel companion in the past. Hopefully he's going to be my travel companion for 2025. Still undecided. Hopefully we'll get him off the fence. And we'll see how that goes. Anyway, here he is, Scott D. I did send Drew an image the other day or a video on Instagram of a kangaroo on a fence, but I won't tell you what he got caught. But anyway,
heard about that. The testicles caught.
Scott, mate, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm well. Obviously, the only one that's still coming in, and the man himself, the man who's making waves within the eskate community and on YouTube. You know who he is, the bearded one. Do we have to? Well, I've got to because he was giving me a nudge too.
He's sitting in the background waiting patiently.
I'm just making him hang out a bit longer.
What's he going to be dressed in? Are we taking guesses what he's going to have on? Is he going to have done a wardrobe change in between?
We actually can't even see as well, which is quite.
No, we can't see him. I'm excited.
Only I can see him, and he's got a little add to stage thing over his thing. So anyway, here he is, Mr. Drew himself.
Oh, the dramatic turn.
Dramatic turn. Guys, just hold for a second. Time for this. Ready?
We are back, baby. We are fucking back. We're back. Classic.
I love it. I love it.
He just had to throw
something up his arm. Yeah, he did a little something going on.
A little something. Nothing
and you just got a copyright strike.
How are you?
Banned. Whatever. I don't really care. It's more about making videos and having fun about all this stuff. So I've got an agenda. So we're going to get into the agenda. I'm going to start right off, guys, because, we're going to do a catch up on the way through. There is going to be some horseplay and some chit chat of just random crap, but I'm going to get into the information that people probably want to know about 2024. And I know you've all got opinions. So best boards of 24.
Oh,
yeah.
This has been waking me up at night. I think you need to almost categorize it and then have an overall favorite.
So we do anticipated or we've ridden, because I think that's there's two elements to this.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. That's probably a good call, Thomas. Best boards you've ridden this year. Give us two each. Come on, I'm going to start with Thomas. Give me your best two that you've ridden this year that you like.
Oh God. I think the A-Stec with the suspension, when I took that to Monaco, that was, the Z3 was a really good, very interesting board, a new dynamics for seeing, which was really nice for me to have. That would have been really good. And also, I would also say the cavity's been really interesting to me as well, because it's a different, like I say, there is, as reviewers, there's a lot of boards that come out there all the time, very similar, rehashed, same electronics. But having like a 14S hub drive, direct drive board, it's kind of refreshing to have something that is kind of tailored for the sliders out there. So that's going to be my 2 cents for those two that I've reviewed so far.
Reddick agrees with you. I'm probably saying his name wrong. He agrees with the Z3, saying Z3. Yep. Good night.
Yep. Yeah.
And one there from Mosh in Vegas there. Highly recommend the A-Stec Z3 as well. So I think you got a good thing there. Question about the cavity you were just talking about, because I think you guys have, Drew and Thomas have ridden it. Yep. Who are they? Where are they from? I've never. I mean, I see people riding them. I know nothing about this brand.
So I had a really interesting one on this because I met these guys actually last year with Fabian at the Ontra Open, and they were there. And what's interesting, actually, I'm going to say this about it. So I think backstory is really important. They actually had the original board out, I think, a year prior to the one they have now, but it actually got completely resold under a different brand and basically stole their design. So the one they have now, the G3S, that is the current model, and they were like developing that as I met them in Germany. So they're based in Germany. So that's a bit of backstory from them.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, thanks.
All right. Who wants to go next? Drew,
I'll
you've
go
been
next.
Not me.
Scott. All right. Scott,
I'll go next. So, the best boards I've ridden of 2024, and one's a very, very recent one, is the Tiny Mini Pro X Extreme Mark II
Gear drive,
whatever it's called. The Tiny Mini gear drive is just. Aiden keeps making mini boards just classically good, but he keeps making them relevant, which is really cool. So obviously the Mini 3 Pro and all that were really nice. Thanks, Reddick, Max. Thanks. But the gear drive just adds another element to it. That sound, the feeling, it's just so much fun. It's a little bit bigger than a traditional 30-inch board. It's like 31 inches, and that extra inch does actually make a bit of difference. Every inch makes a difference.
Every inch makes a difference.
Yeah. And then my second board I want to talk about is I actually changed my mind yesterday on this. Well, I didn't change my mind. I added a board to it. So my other favorite board is the Z3. I love that board. But the Evo Mark 1 is now first equal. Now that they've done a firmware upgrade through the mobile app, which is a horrible app. But the fact that you can do firmware upgrades for the Hobbywing ESC now is insane. And it's given it the one thing that board was missing was off-the-line punch. And through the firmware they've just released, it's now got it. So I've gone from being, okay, that's a very close second to first equal Z3 and the Lin Power Evo Mark 1.
Yeah, no, I think you kind of stole my my answer there.
Okay. And the guy in the comment just actually said the board I haven't ridden and I'm most anticipated to try, hopefully, is the Radium.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. What's up, Biddle? How you doing, man?
Oh, Biddle's in. Hey.
So for me, I'm gonna. There's a lot of boards that have been fantastic this year. I would say the one that's been the most unique one that I've ridden so far this season was the Backfire Nalu. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I know.
It
been stopped all in one shot. I mean, they had delusions of grandeur as far as being a 99 watt hour. Then it's like they had airline regulations that they wanted to not meet, so they bumped it up to like 130 something watt hours. Then they had like battery recalls on the first 500. So, but as far as like,
all right, Thomas is throwing stuff in here, and I'm going to jump in and throw it in here. I don't know what it is. Oh, yes, the Nalu. There it is.
Okay. Yeah, so it just was. It's one of those things that, you know, as far as a unique board of the season, like that surf inspired ride and things like that, it was different. It's, you know, it's not double kingpin, it's not traditional kingpin, it's not anything else we've ridden.
It's mental.
And it's just it's insanely thin, it's insanely light. So that really kind of set me, gave me a newfound appreciation for mini boards this season. And then
hey Benny.
I don't the Endeavor 3GT, the Horizon, like all of these boards this season have been really fun to get on. And I would say like even the Horizon is as uniquely as big as it is, and just it's so heavy though. It's like 60 something pounds, and it's just so upset. It's so heavy. So
but this is the thing, right? But this is the thing. I'm sorry to cut you off. This is the thing that we have to do. We have to evaluate the board for what it's designed for. This is not designed as a mountain board. It's not designed as a jump board. It's designed as a range board. Power and range. So you can't build a range board without weight.
No,
there's compromises right. Every time.
And the amount of times we put a video out and someone goes, "Oh, it's fucking heavy." I'm like, yeah, it's got a massive battery.
The power of wheel.
We're not magicians.
No, it's 14 SAP. It's suspension trucks. It's massive 6890 motors, some massive cans in the rear there. Yeah. So that board has been a lot of fun to ride. And another, just my the OMW.
The Hussar or the
Cavalry. Yeah, the Cavalry and the Hussar have been a pretty grand slam out of there. So getting to ride those.
The Hussar I thought was like groundbreaking for them because it was so different from what everyone else was doing. You know, like the Cavalry was a bit, you know, it's 2-in-1, it's cool.
Yeah.
But then they released this lightweight, 12S3P with a flex deck. I was like, that's cool.
With guaranteed lifetime guarantee on decks. So
yeah,
that's wild.
I was blown away when I got to play with it at eskate8con last year. No, still this year. It was just such a beautiful board to ride, and with those Lin Power stickies that Silent Ghost Reaper had on them, and that car park, which is where I got to blast around. That board was really surprising how good it was. So it was definitely.
The hostess was amazing as well, and they had the best merch as well. Except for the one that can't fit in my head, but Scott.
Amazing. Yeah.
Are you both wearing the same hat right now?
No.
I got an OMW t-shirt, and it was absolutely awesome. It was actually really high quality. It's lasting well.
Yeah. The funny thing is, the OMW stuff was that good. People thought it was for sale.
Yeah,
they weren't going. No,
and
I said, no, just go ask her for a hoodie. She'll give you a hoodie. It's free. Oh, Thomas has lost a light.
I've lost a light. Reload.
But yeah, it was such good. The t-shirts were nice. The hoodies were good. They had nice hats. Like, yeah, it was cool. It was sick.
Yeah, absolutely.
City Surfer's in here. Dina's in here. Benny's in here. What's up, guys?
Yeah,
Benny's in here quoting the multiverse. So you know he's here for fun.
Yeah. And yes, I am rocking the. I'm slightly on holidays. I've been on holidays for a week and a bit, so this is my I don't give a rat's look. And I'm not. I'm rocking
I think it's the Captain America bed from Winter Soldier, isn't it?
Ooh. Look, I've got a little bit of Christmas, a little bit of salt and pepper going on actually. So I'm showing my age.
Yeah, well, you got to prove that age for that over 50 class next year at eskate8con, right?
Well, I was excited because there'll be Kieran maybe and a few of the rest of us out there bashing it, but I'm not even sure. I think Kieran might be under 50, so I might be there.
Kieran
alone.
Looks like he's 21.
He does.
I was going to
say, yeah. Oh my god.
He does. Imagine having that energy at his age.
Well, I've got to say,
it's all jealousy. All jealousy.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I'm going to get on the bandwagon. The Z3 for me has been a beast. There.
Yep.
Absolutely loved it.
And you've got the Elite, right?
You have got the Elite. Yeah. I've done a couple of rides now, which have been over 70, 75 kilometers, and still had 20, 30% left in the board. So, just crazy, and it is an all-terrain, and realistically the Baja board's not getting much use at all anymore because it's probably got better clearance than the Baja board, and it handles terrain just as good, if not better. So awesome. The Radium Mark 1, keep watching the channel because I bought one.
I can't believe it got one coming.
I've cashed in, so I'm with all the other Radium Mark 1 buyers out there. We're all sitting there with sweaty palms waiting to see that delivery email come in.
What number did you pick?
Well, that's going to be a surprise, Scott.
Stay tuned.
Nice. Stay tuned. Subscribe.
I bidded. I put a bid in, and I won. So I got my number that I wanted. So that's pretty cool. And I'm really excited for that board. Now I've got to say, and I'm going to chuck in 2 extras. The Nalu, have to agree. I loved it. I love riding that, and I got to ride it in a location that is usually, really full of people and tourists. And for me, it added to the whole day of mucking around with that board and spending time on it. So thanks to Scott for sharing. And the OMW brand as a whole, I think, is just plugging away in the background quietly, nicely, and it is really entry-level quality. And really nice, really, really nice. And even nearly a year later, I still rate that crew. So yeah, I have to agree, mate. I have to agree.
I'll tell you who stepped up their game this year too, just while we're speaking about boards and favorite boards. And I've said no, and you guys know this because we discussed it at eskate8con. I said no so many times to Vmax. So I just didn't like this stuff. I was like, yeah, it's nice, but it's a bit cookie cutter. I said this in my video as well, so this is no surprise. But then when they did the Marlin or the Merlin, whatever it was, I was like, okay, this is starting to look a bit different. It's got nice enclosures. It's starting to look a bit like the Lycon Swift, rest in peace. And then they did the Mini Monster, which again, 14S2, those cool little motors. And I was like, right, now they're starting to step outside of the shadow. So massive props to Vmax as well for making the jump. And I said this in my video, making the jump from every other brand that there's 100 of to being a bit more individual, making quality stuff at a really good price.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. Vmax, And they're really engaging in the community too. So I've got to give them props for working with the community, and they've also set their own standards for their brand, which not many companies do, but they have basically said this is how we want to do it, and this is what we want to see. So as well as doing what they're doing, they're trying to manage how their brand's perceived in the market too. So they're doing well. So this comes into the next one. Best e-skate companies of 2024. I'm just going to stack it out. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
And this, if you don't want to comment, I understand because we've all got.
I think for me, I'll just go first, and you guys can all follow suit. But I'm just going to say eskate just for what they're doing in innovation and in customer service. But I think it's very closely followed by Propel for me. I just really, really like what Ace is doing. They're not just making a board; they're actually, talking to their customers. People wanted a long-range board, so they built a long-range board. The Z3 was thought up and designed and released within like 6 months. The N3, all these boards are doing, and they admit when they make a mistake like that. They openly say they effed up with their first Stellar Mini. They said that was shit. We're going to make a new one next year, and it's going to blow everyone's socks off. But on the same thing, I think Propel is right there, if not first equal, because they kill it with customer service as far as having agents in other countries who are actually awake when they're asleep. And you look at the progression of, say, the Endeavor, from the Endeavor 1, which I've still got, to where they are now with the Endeavor GT3, whatever it is. It's
3 GT,
every single change they make, they listen to feedback, and they keep making their product safer, better, but somehow they keep the price down, which is awesome.
I have to agree, Scott. I think one of the things that probably not everyone rates, and that's having Russell for Propel in the US, adds that such a huge, massive value of information there, and also Olivia from
Ace. I think he's actually parted ways with them.
Yeah, that's a real hard pill to swallow. He was such an amazing asset for I feel, for sure.
I agree.
What happened?
Oh, no, he's got other priorities on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. So that's tough, I suppose. But anyway, that was huge assets to the company too. So
I think for me, like, I want to talk about the Propel just briefly, but the I know when I visited Drew over there, that was one thing you had to tell me, like, there are other boards you need to ride and feature while you're here. Like, I do you know what I really liked about it? Being a bigger guy and having like the bigger boards. Like back in my history of riding, it was the first board I felt which was a commercial, which really had a nice cup and locked your feet in, and every single element was like really, really refined. And there was loads of little features on that board that just made me want to just pick it up and use it. And I was really impressed with that.
You're talking about the Ruckus, right?
Yeah, the Ruckus, man. With those new trucks.
Bring the new trucks, I was going to say, because it's the same. I would agree with you. I think Ace8con, I think Propel, like Lin Power, these guys have all come out this year with some incredibly unique design products, and customer service is absolutely top notch when it comes to this stuff. Things happen. I get a million text messages or Facebook messages or whatever it is, people saying like, "Oh, what board should I get? What should I do?" And and then 3 or 4 months later, something's wrong with my board. I'm like, contact them. They will answer you directly. Please go ahead and reach out to them. You can't say that about every single company that's out there. There's people that, in certain companies that just, they fall on deaf ears and they're kind of just left in the dust. So it's hard, it's a hard situation, especially like I always tell people, I'm like, listen, China, for me, it's 12 to 13 hours ahead of time. So you got to realize that there's going to be, an email sent, and then 5 days later, you might get a response back to it. And then you have companies that have people that are based in your country, United States, Germany, whatever it may be, and they'll be able to answer right away in that sense. And I would agree. I think Ace8con and Propel have kind of sit themselves really nicely at the top there with a lot of things. And then I would say that Lin Power for me, the Evo Mark 1 kind of is like the underdog of the year for me. I think that's one of those ones that's like the most underrated boards out there, especially like when Scott said that firmware update. Because it was like, it was great, it was powerful, it was a great price, insanely good deal when it came out, and still it's one of those ones I ride all the time, and I pop on, when that firmware,
the flex and the carb of that board is just unmatched.
it's snowboarding. It's the closest thing I can say. And they have the bindings. They have like, they're like, oh, do you want bindings on this? I was like, well, yeah, sure, okay. And they're like, oh, we put bindings on there. So they did. They thought about everything. And it's one of those things that, you know, if you are a snowboarder, it's kind of like, it's funny, like, you know, we ride these e-skates and we treat them like that, but I always lend like I want the carve ride feel. I want the endless carve. Snowboarding, surfing, skateboarding, like longboarding. Like I want that endless carve ride. I don't care about going as fast as you can in a straight line or as hard as you can up a mountain or whatever it may be. You know, that situation's for me, total personal preference is that that endless ride, that carve. So that's
why we all love the Nalu as well.
The Nalu is another one that just.
And it's an easy choice so often as well, just to pick up the thing, and it doesn't suck to pick it up and be such a pain like that. Yeah. And I think with that as well, it's a lot of stuff. It's minimalism and refinement, in my opinion. Hub drives, that lights built into it, lightweight. Don't expect much, but you get a lot for it, in my opinion.
Yep.
They need to go back. I'm going to call it. I'm going to say need to go back and remake that board again, because now they've gone backwards. They need to go back and do that. I'm going to put it out there.
What was the final thing with that? Have they recalled it completely?
They recalled and resent new ones out, I believe. And if you wanted, if you were
the first
and you wanted
500 batteries, I think was the problem. The first, if you were a person that got delivery, and the first 500 batteries that were sent out, or first 500 in the shipment, the batch, I guess that was the situation that you had to.
You're all over.
We have the most limited edition ones because they're only 99 watt hours. Like they're the only.
Oh, so our ones are okay. So the 99 watt hours are okay.
Yeah, totally different battery pack and all that stuff.
Okay.
Extremely limited in that sense. So they'll be staying in the stash. You know,
nice.
For now.
Okay, I'm gonna have to have another chat about that, because I thought there was something wrong with the 99, which is why they upgraded it to the 100 and whatever it is now.
136. I'm looking at
136.
I think it was. I think they were trying to, like, I guess because it was an enclosed
battery,
like
pointless
battery. Exactly. You couldn't remove it. So like you could bring it on the board. You could be a carry on, all that stuff. But then like, you know, you're carrying on there. I guess because it, you know, there wasn't a way of completely waterproofing it or damaging or whatever it may have been. They sent an email out to everyone. They said that kind of the same situation. They're like, you know, we can't guarantee the integral safety of it all in that sense. So that's why they took it back. And made it the 136.
But one thing I will say to Randy and the other guy, Joseph, no, I can't remember his name. They didn't try to scave their commitments. They just said, "Hey, we've made a change. If you've got a pre-order and you don't want it anymore, we'll give you a full refund straight away."
Yeah, which
I think that's a big thing this year. I'd agree with that one, Scott. I think a lot of companies have. I think the kind of etiquette of hiding mistakes is kind of gone a little bit. Like I think, like also there's, and we said it, like some of the A-sticks were with the suspension weren't right initially, and they worked on that.
Yep. And
then with the backfire owning about the battery, I think there's a lot of like putting out there and say, "You look, we're working on it," and I think that's really important.
I think they all learnt from when X-Way changed the batteries in the Wave and didn't tell anybody.
It's silent updates. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. We've lost Craig, so
I was gonna say, did anyone else see that Craig's just gone?
I think he's having camera battery issues. I think maybe.
Craig, depending on what camera you're using, take it if it's on 4K, put it down to 1080, and it shouldn't overheat.
Oh, is it overheating?
Yeah, he just said it's okay. Yeah. So who's in the chat? Who have we got? We've got eskate.
Yeah, let's call out some people.
Mosh Mob from Vegas.
Yep.
I've been watching his content recently. I think he just passed, was it 2,000 subscribers?
I'm still back here.
Hey.
What camera are you using, Craig?
Sony. It's got a permanent battery or a powered battery in it, but it's just hot here, and I'm in the garage, so it's actually just
what's the resolution? Is it in 4K?
No, it's in. What was it in? I think it's in
HD. It pops down to 720.
Okay. Yeah, but the camera itself still films in 4K, and that's why it overheats when you live stream.
Yeah, I'll have a look at it again.
Yeah. Okay.
Next time it goes down, I'll look at it because it's going to keep happening.
Yeah.
Can I propose a subject on that? Just for
go for it.
Oh, actually, no. Wait. Let's call out some people who are engaged.
Hang on. Craig hasn't answered yet.
Oh, eskate companies. For such a small group, and they're close to me because they're close to my heart because I really like these guys. Radium Performance are really good in what they're doing, but I'll talk about something that they're doing rather than any other company. But in general speak, for me, eskate have been supportive to the industry like no other. They keep coming, they keep advancing, they keep listening, and they keep trying. And I think they're at a point where they're probably going to settle down now. Well, just if I was to call it out, I'd say probably you'll see less releases from them over the next 2 years. But what I think they'll do is they'll refine what they've got, potentially. Here we go. We've got a couple of naysayers down below me, obviously, on the screen, but they probably know stuff we don't know. But I was going to say, my thing for the Horizon is this the limit point for them with bringing big innovation, or are they going to re-innovate around what they've just done? I don't know. You guys probably know more than I do because you're closer to eskate. But the reality is how much more can they keep spending before they say enough's enough? We've got to start refining what we're doing rather than pushing forward. Anyway, I think they're an ace company. I think what they're doing is just next level for everyone.
I think your point's right. I think what we're going to see next year with Ace Deck, and this is just from a few ad hoc conversations, is that we'll see a couple of new mini boards. Definitely, we'll see a long board, like a boosted style.
Yep.
I think we will see a couple of
I haven't done that yet,
updates.
Oh,
well, they did. They did the Stellar,
the
whatever.
S3.
What was the long one called?
yeah.
The S3.
S3, yeah. And that was
S3.
pretty good. I love that board. I've still got it. But I reckon we'll see a long board, and I reckon we'll see a couple of revisions to that $1,000 price point. I think we'll see them do like a loss leader. Like when they put, when Coke's sold at below price. We'll see a loss leader to get people hooked on the brand, to get them in the door as an Ace Deck customer. So that's my prediction.
Yeah, good call.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to say this. Innovation of 2024 that you want to call out.
Oh man, you got to warn us about this stuff.
No way.
Right?
I'm warning you,
like,
it's
what?
boring, right? I want to push you because this is what people want to know, and if it's off the cuff, it's more real. So sorry about that. Suck it up.
No,
There's so many. I mean, Yok for me has been awesome in the industry as far as what they've been doing with their grip.
Didn't
tape.
even think of that. Didn't even think of that initially.
No.
The printed grip, the laser cut, the glow in the dark, the holographic.
Yeah.
I've literally got my N3 belt here. I'm trying to apply it, but I keep stuffing it up because I rushed it. Amazing product. Like it's so cool to see that we can now customize. Like Drew and I had custom grip tape on our N3s this year at eskate8con.
Yeah.
And it's just really nice. Like remember back
and they have
like 2 years ago, who was
NFC
the
keychain? They just released their NFC keychain. Like oh, here you go. I was like,
Okay.
What was that other grip tape company that was around a couple of years ago? It's kind of gone by the wayside a little bit.
Dope
Grip.
Yeah.
The Dope was cool because they were the first guys to bring out this like pre-cut hexagon stuff that was catered.
And 99% of people had it.
Yeah.
Just insane. So
Local retailers were selling everything.
Beautiful.
Can I share something about Yok, which I haven't actually shown anyone yet, just for fun?
Yeah,
this is behind the scenes stuff, but for fun. Just want to know your opinion on this. What do you think of this?
I'm sharing it up.
How's Thomas doing this? I haven't got these controls.
No,
Screen
share.
share.
I put it up.
you got creator share.
Yeah, so I'm designing this one for a board build, so just a bit of fun. But that's the thing,
cool.
it's innovation doing anything you want and having the inspiration of working together. So a couple things.
That's the thing, right? You are only limited by your own imagination or your own ability to create art. It's amazing. It's such a cool accessory, and it's not mucking around with lights and shit and all this other stuff. It's just something completely fun that you can personalize your board with, which is awesome.
Well, I've got a rehash of my Hellcat down here, I've got a video coming out soon, and that's got Yok grip on it. But that was actually Yok grip given to me for another board, which I just hacked and repurposed and put onto this as just something completely different that you normally wouldn't do. But because the other board's going, I'm selling it, so it's not my little mini. Anyway, that's another story. But so who wants to go next? Yok is awesome. We all agree. Let's go. Oh God, I've got silence. Come on, guys.
I think elephant in the room, and I don't understand people's mixed opinions on this, but I think on the Parsec Aero Pro, I think I'm quite interested because it pushes it in a new direction, and all these high end innovations trickling down. And I think for me, it's a set of rules on a board. It's like, it can only be this heavy, it can only be this big. How much space do we have, and how can we get the most out of it? So I'm interested to see a direction of high end super high end lightweight boards is one thing for me.
That
So-
board is that's my so
The Achilles heel of Drew.
my hat's off to them. I haven't even ridden it yet, and I very, very, very rarely comment on boards I haven't ridden yet. But that is one of the boards I'm looking forward to the most because it bridges that gap like from my longboarding, like growing up, just straight up longboarding, like long distance pushing. Like that's how I got around like college campus. That's how I got around as a kid, all that stuff. And now blending that with the e-skate world in this lightweight form factor. I have to realize this, like the weight on that board is the same weight as the X-Way Wave Mini. It's actually, I think, a few ounces lighter. So
Drew.
if you go pick up an X-Way Mini
Damn it.
and X-Way Wave and the X-Way Wave, and you pick that up, it's lighter than that. So it's one of those situations where
that's mad.
I picked mine up the other day, and I was like, that's mind blowing to me. And the people, I saw Benny and Biddle and a few other people commenting on earlier before there, saying about the range and stuff like that. I think that the misunderstanding is that this is like meant to be a hybrid board. Essentially, this is meant to be a kick push board that has motors on it, essentially. And it's that situation where, especially in New York City, there's the Social Push Club that these guys meet up every single Tuesday, and there's a few guys that are in the e-skate scene that go there and film with them. And these guys ride for 9 miles, 10 miles, 15 miles on their kick pushes, on their straight up kick pushes every single Tuesday. They were out last Tuesday in the rain. They were out, this past Tuesday. They rip around. So it's crazy to see that. And I would love to be able to go there. And then I'm like already thinking ahead of like Broadway Bomb in New York City, like hopping on this thing and being able to like kick push this through New York City.
That literally is a kick push. It's like a hybrid, isn't it?
It's a kick push hybrid. Yeah. I mean, hey, I'm pushing 40. I'm going to say that. So like for me, when I get tired, when I get tired, I can be like, okay, well, and just blow by everyone at 20 something miles an hour. So it's like, it's that board really has piqued my interest in the simplest term, to say the least. It's piqued my interest.
Yeah.
And then I think we've got Scott, isn't it? Your most innovation of the year, I think.
Scott did Yok. I think Drew just stole the
you let him have an accessory, yeah, fair, that's fine.
Well, I mean, if we want to talk about boards, I'd have to go with like the suspension on the Z3 and the gear drive. How they've managed to make a gear drive so quiet, like it's mind blowing.
Oh, it's mad! I couldn't believe how quick you was on the Z3 last year, not the recent one, the year before, on the Z3 on a suspension system, which is really interesting. So
the quietness on the Horizon. Like I know maybe you guys haven't ridden the Horizon, but the gear drive on the Horizon is even quieter than the gear drive on the Z3, which is it is again mind blowing. Like I got this thing, I'm like,
but it makes no sense. But it makes no sense that it's that quiet because it's an all steel gear drive, stainless steel heat treated gears. It's like there's no polymer in there anymore.
Must be the play. It must be so close. That's why it's.
I don't know. Whatever it is, they're like actual like margin of whatever error in there. But they literally, it's like you'll do 30 plus miles an hour, and you're expecting to hear like this screeching, and you're like, no, it's like it's like a soft like drone, and I mean all four or whatever it may be. Because you're going to have a 1600 watt lumen LED light blaring down at you that way. So,
yeah,
I've got an interesting question I really want to ask. Well, we're talking about innovations, boards, and all that stuff. What is a board that you wish you have, or like you might still have, that doesn't exist anymore that you can't get nowadays?
Hang on a minute, I haven't done mine yet.
Go on, Craig. Sorry, Craig. Go on. Drop your bomb. There's something off. I don't think your heart's in it. That's what it is.
We'll circle back.
I'm too distracted. Radium's performance, Radium Performance's suspension in their street board. And I've got to say, SKP have followed them with their motors, so they actually had their own motors, and now SKP have followed. So I've got to say, without Radium's motors, SKP wouldn't have that motor. I'll probably get it.
A lot of companies wouldn't have that motor
now against me. Yeah. But that suspension and what they've done, as well as the monocoque, can I say that? Monocoque chassis is very different than a lot of everybody else has done. So they've got their own truck system. They've got their own, and I've got to say, everyone doesn't know this, but because the guys are down here and they're bloody 25 minutes from where I live, the guys have been working on that for 4 years. So the innovation has been born and bred for a long, long time before it's come out. And I don't think there's many left, but they're still up for sale if you want one. Anyway, moving right along.
The proof is in the pudding with those boards. You look at the National Track Championships up in Queensland this year. They took out, was it first and second?
Yep, first and second. And the guy who took out second, I believe, or it was either second or third, I can't remember. But the guy who was placed on the leaderboard had actually only just started racing that board that weekend because his Stooge board, it wasn't because of the Stooge, it was because whatever.
Didn't he forget his charger or something?
Charger or something was failing. Whatever happened. But he jumped on that board and then he ended up podiuming.
Podiuming?
Predominating?
On a holiday. Damn it.
Ramadama Ding Dong?
I tell you what, I think Thomas just must be on Drew's channel permanently now.
Yeah.
I just memorize stuff.
So,
enough of his stuff.
He's Drew's only subscriber.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's 4 of them, actually. It's just...
that video on that board, Jeffrey Peralta in New York City, he's basically, I think, one of 2 people that own Iridium in the United States. So I got to be able to jump on that board a few times during the year when I saw him, and I even got to test out they were working on new performance stuff like that when he was going for his race stuff. So I got to really hop on that thing, and I mean, when I say I hit over 40 miles an hour on that thing and it felt as stable as all hell, like that board is definitely
I've still never even stood on one. I haven't even ridden one.
Oh, really? One either. Yeah.
Really? At esk8con, you guys didn't even step on the one at esk8con?
No, I was too busy in the hospital.
Yeah. All right, Craig's chucked the question up there, but Thomas, what was your question before we jump to Craig's question?
My question?
You're starting something.
You had a subject.
Yeah, so my question is, I think it's really interesting to reviewers, but what board or product through the years of eSkate or post-eSkate, like pre-eSkate kind of thing, like early days, have you always wanted or that you've never had?
Or it can be one that we've had and we don't have anymore and we wish we could still buy.
Yeah, I can say that, and one you've never owned. So I'm going to bit of both. Basically, you don't own it now and you wish you had it still or had it at the time. Okay.
For me, the one I've had and I don't have anymore because it was just made poorly back in the day, but it was super powerful. And if they remade it today, I would buy it, even if they didn't offer it to me to review. Would be the Revel kit.
Oh yeah, it wasn't like 2 parts, wasn't it?
It was basically a booster with a battery and an ESC all built in, and you could put it on a board and you could pair 2 together and make it 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
That thing is so far ahead of itself. It was crazy. I think it was an 8 amp hour battery in each one. And when you put that thing to 4-wheel drive mode, it just blew your socks off. It was so much fun.
That's interesting.
And the one I've never had and I've always wanted to try is the what's the one from Onsra, the mountain board style one?
Velar.
Oh, the Velar. Yeah.
Mm.
I have one of those.
Yeah, that's fun. That is like, it's weird. It's like this thick in the middle. I don't know. It's so weird.
I had a little turn on at esk8con. I was like, I really like this. This seems really nice.
It's powerful, and yeah, to Thomas's statement there as well too. Like, there's batteries the entire way through. There's like people are like, oh, there's only batteries in the front and the batteries in the room. I'm like, no, there's batteries in the middle of there.
It's a clever design the way they've done it. The way he's done it.
It's a very, very clever design. My answer is actually kind of something to Scott's design. There is Loaded came out with their electric hub.
The Loaded
at one point.
The 2 batteries.
I think it was the ultimate. Yeah, it was like the 2 clip-on batteries, hub drive in the rear type of thing, and it had like a hybrid mode, is what essentially they called it, where it's like you could kick push without a remote, and as you kicked, it was like, all right, cool, this is the speed I'm going to hold. It's like constant mode.
Yeah.
It was like a cruise control almost, and then when you put your foot down to brake, like a foot brake, it would be like, all right, cut off and like turn off the power. So it was kind of like interesting to see that, or if it jumped off, whatever it was. And then I mean, I've never owned a Pantheon push board, and I've been looking at, they've come out with like 3 or 4 different designs that I really want to get back into, like the push boarding side of it, a little bit more speed downhill type of thing. And those are probably the 2 things that I wish I had now. Yeah.
All right, I'm back.
So what I want.
Let Tom answer. Tom's dying to answer.
This is the whole point of what this is the whole point. If anyone's watching and you have one,
I want to buy.
I want this so badly. I want these things.
Oh yes, I had
The
one.
quick
I had
wheel.
one. I
I
had one.
know. I put it in chat. I was like, "Who's got one of these? Like, please! I
Yeah.
want to put it in my backpack and use it while my board's charging. Please, someone
my
must have one."
My one business shoe would fit on it, and that was
It's
it.
incredible.
One shoe.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh god.
That's classic. Casey Neistat.
Yeah. All right, Tom. All right, Craig.
All right, guys, back to it. In your personal highlight of 2024 for everything we're doing.
Red Rock.
Red Rock. Nice.
I think Broadway Bomb kind of supersedes Red Walk this year.
Well,
I
did do
think,
that.
yeah.
New York trip, 2
Yeah,
weeks,
trip-
spending
trip
a
looked
month in
amazing.
America was incredible. Being with one of my best friends, having a good time, making memories. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Super cool. Super cool. My one was I went on a ride, and I've got video footage just got dropped off to me a week ago from my mate Tom with his Skateo. We went and did a long ride down a peninsula here, which is, you know, there's a piece of it, and there's beach, there's ocean on one side and inland bay on the other, and there's just this one strip, and it's only, I don't know, there's only a piece of it that's like less than half a kilometer long, but it's just everything about Red Rock in that, and I tell you what, it is only 35 minutes from my house.
Wow.
And I've only ever skated it once, now twice now, because I've done it since. But
Is this the same ride where you hit a tram?
Ooh.
No, that was sorry about that. That wasn't a highlight. That was the low light. But it's amazing exploring on eskate. It's amazing what you find when it's so close to your home.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
Absolutely beautiful.
Speaking of Tom, Tom's just jumped in the chat.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, what's good to see?
Nice.
There he is. So and it's so
Let's all just wait for Tom to sort out his filters.
Don't worry. I think we're having technical. My camera was on for about an hour before I jumped on, and it was fine. Now it's just saying. Now Drew's farting again. Jeez,
oh my god! My editing computer's blowing up.
Ah!
All right, so Red Rock, Broadway Bomb, New York trip, and Peninsula ride with Skateo footage.
Yep, which is coming still. More of it's coming still. So anyway, that's the big highlights. So, I don't want to do this yet, but I'm going to do it anyway. eskate8con 2025. There's already been some questions and some stuff. I've booked a hotel. Who else has booked a hotel?
We booked a hotel.
So that Thomas and Drew had sorted. Scott, I don't want to talk to him about it.
Whatever. Unless Scott wants to say something right now.
Oh, no.
Nothing. I'm still on the fence. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence.
Yes.
It was a I mean, look at it this way. It was a definite no. Now it's a maybe one more. Just because I want to see the new site and it. Yeah.
Do you feel like, I've got a question for you, Scott, or based on that then, would you say that the intent for eskate8con has changed intensely from year 1 to year 2 to year 3? So it's gone from this is predominantly to network versus like a hybrid, and now it's like, I just want to go see my mates.
Yeah, well, I didn't make it to year 1 because of COVID. We couldn't leave the country. But definitely, even from year 2 and year 3, the difference has gone from being I want to film content every day to just I want to come and hang out and make one really cool video.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah. That's kind of
I'm still regretting that last year after the Sphere we turned left instead of turning right.
Oh please, who wants to take that to explain that? It's so funny. No one knows about that as well. So funny.
That turned into a bit of a boring walk and then an Uber ride home.
We spent an hour walking away from the strip. It was incredible.
We're like, hang on, isn't that the Strat?
We're going the wrong way. We're in Naked City now.
Why is civilization breaking down by the second?
Yeah, we saw more and more bars get on the windows of the shop.
Oh my god.
Less and less people.
No, it is 50-50. Like I am looking at prices. I did say no. I said I wouldn't be back this year, but next year. But looking at the location and looking at what the guys have got planned, it's going to be hard. It's hard to keep saying no because the demo track and the bigger racetrack and the the fact they're going to have some entertainment on there now, the fact that all you guys are going. You know, Danny's coming again. He's already booked. He's going to be there for other things, so he's going to come along as well. It'll all come down. I think it'll all come down to. Well, I've already got a board secured, which is nice. If I do want to go, I've got a board that I can use. I can ride for the week. It'll come down to the family, to be honest. If they want to come maybe to California and we'll go a couple of days earlier and hang out, and then maybe they'll come as well, or maybe they'll stay in Cali, or maybe I'll just say one more for the books and make this a big one. I don't know. I got plenty of time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's the reality of it. And I think, I mean, knowing what we know and knowing what we've been through, all of us have been there for at least 2 of them. It's not just a place to go and have a look at boards and just hang out and skate around the venue. I think the reality of it, and I think a lot of people now have realized the friendships that are formed around, we've all got the same passion. So when we get together, it's all of us enjoying what's going on. Now, I'll be all elephant in the room. I don't think Red Rock's happening this year.
It was too big last year.
There was a lot of problems. There was supposed to be 50.
Dylan got arrested. Like, there was just so many things going on.
To be fair, as well,
the nicest guy in the world, literally the nicest guy in the world, gets arrested. Like, it's just so, like, it's like, okay.
But another thing with the Red Rock, though, we didn't actually do the wetland, so potentially that could be a 180, and then you can do that instead. So
I don't want the wetland sucked. I don't know. It was
I was having fun because I like the
that didn't bother me. It was the chunks in the road. Like, there was there were 5-inch gaps of like chunks in the road. And I had 18 tires, so it didn't bother me. But yeah, it just didn't feel fun. Oh, okay. What I would love to do is go where I went with John Davies and Fast Tony where it was up like it was basically kind of like Red Rock-esque, but it was like it was through the tunnels and the highway and the side of the highway and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. But
I have a feeling, and that's what I have a feeling this year there'll be a lot more like ad hoc group rides. If Red Rock doesn't happen,
mini rides,
yeah.
They'll be like, 100%. Hey guys, we're going to do this. If you've got a car, meet here. Let's go have fun. Like, it won't be as.
From what I've heard, Scott, the Wednesday night ride is back on. So
it is. It's restarted. Yeah, it's back up again. Yeah. So the Wednesday night will definitely go ahead, I'd say.
And Mosh Mob would probably be able to give us a bit more detail around that as well, because he's obviously there and he films nearly every Wednesday, not every Wednesday, but most of them, and he shares his videos nearly weekly. And I think
Thomas has some info to share by the look of it.
Okay.
Who, me?
Yeah, you went ooh.
Oh no, I just thought no, I'm gonna save it. Like, that's fine.
Okay,
I wanted to share. So I'll save it for another one. It's fine.
Okay. It's fine. So you'll have to watch Thomas's live feed coming in several weeks for that one. So
I need to. So some of the guys know what I've been training in the background, so that's what I reckon. There should be a group ride based around that. So you have to do that later.
Okay. Well, I don't even know. So whatever's going on, I've got no idea. So Thomas, you'll have to fill me in offline another day.
One thing to say. Sorry, Craig. One thing to say. Everyone who is watching. There was a chat yesterday in a bigger group chat we were all part of. The Nugget is practically the same distance, if not even a smidge closer to the new location. So if anyone's wondering, you can still definitely book the Nugget, and it's as close, if not a little bit closer than the Llama Lot last year. This year.
I think you got to ride as well. So insider.
I think you have to ride under the highway, though, right? Didn't we have to go under a bridge to get to it last year?
Yeah, it's that little tunnel. Yeah, that one where there was that debris that I hit the first year and almost came off.
Doing about 35, 40k an hour or something.
Yeah.
45, 50.
Yeah, it was
someone's front bumper.
Yeah.
I remember I didn't see, and you was like, Tom, I almost like absolutely hate shit because I hit a car. I was like, oh dear. And I was like, oh no.
I was following up behind, and I heard the ka-ching boom, and I was like, what the hell was that?
Just bits of black plastic just flying past everyone's face,
going past everybody. But I think that is the tunnel. So you literally turn out of the Nugget, go a block and a half down, and then hang a lefty, and then go under that tunnel. There is a footpath or a walker. I don't know, what do you call them in America? A footpath
sidewalk.
Or a sidewalk. Wait. And basically, this is, I don't know what this is. This is, Thomas has put the footage up. It's probably shared a bit earlier.
Scott Davies.
Is that Jimmy Carter there with the red helmet and the John Ryder's jacket on the left?
Yeah.
In the background. So literally from one to the other, there is only about a mile or less than a mile away from the Golden Nugget to the actual track itself. So I think I posted a picture in the chat the other day or yesterday, I think it's Scott, where it actually gave us the wrong entrance. So it's come back to the other end of the car park. So, which is
just, can you just stop? We're just watching the video. Can you just for a second?
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm joking.
Just trying to get views right now. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm getting views. I was just, you know what? This is really bad. I was watching it going, this is really cool. And I realized it was mine.
It's only one view, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm going to get a copy of my truck in the feed now.
Off topic, but do you guys ever forget you've made a video? Like, you see a video and you go, oh, I forgot I made that.
Oh.
Yeah.
A lot.
I mean, you make a few videos over the course of a couple of years, and it's actually kind of like this time of the year, especially. I
recap
kind of you recap. I've stepped back. I've looked at the growth, and I've looked at analytics and what's worked and what I've liked to do and things like that. And you just kind of like have that like, oh shit, I made this, like that was this year, like and it's just you just don't realize it, like that there's a lot of content. You put out 3, 4, or 5 videos a month. It's just a lot. You just a lot.
To be fair, this one is one of my favorites for sure. That shot got. How many people wanted that shot?
Look at that! Look at it.
That was,
and that's year 2. Like, guys, come on! Like every year, it's going to get a bit more.
The anonymous filmer.
Who's that guy?
Yeah, the anonymous dropped off the SD card at the front desk.
Slid under the door.
Yeah.
We have to wait until 7 years, and that's like the statute of law limitations or whatever.
So,
we'll reveal his identity.
My understanding was he took that off. He flew from basically where we started. That's how he got it in the air, right? Because the strips all are no fly.
Really?
I
think it unlocked. I think
he bypassed it somehow. Like he somehow was bypassing because
he flew from where we started. Okay.
Yeah, they were catching from their hand while releasing while riding on a unicycle. So they were
because that's a hell of a long time to be flying. To be fair.
Yeah,
oh, there's the police.
Oh, that's Chris. There's your friend Chris.
And Dallas got fined.
Yeah, again,
I've never seen someone so happy. Yeah,
gets a fine.
But I'm glad. You know what? I'm actually glad it happened to him and not somebody else because he was not argumentative. He just took it on the chin and went, "Yep, sorry."
Yeah. It didn't get bad. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, James,
I can't wait to see that car again.
Awesome.
And he chucked a question in here. I don't know, maybe.
It is amazing, some of the footage and some of the stuff that goes on.
Look at that! Look at that shot.
Yeah, that's just gold.
And better yet,
Tingles,
that was during a Taylor Swift concert that was like these people were trying.
Yeah, look how much cooler we are. Look how much cooler we are.
Like 1,000 people just destroying the strip right now. Like so many people were so pissed off that it was
iconic.
It is what it was.
I don't think it'll ever be that good again, just because there's so many people coming now. Like last year, we diverted a little bit earlier and went around the sphere.
Yeah,
that one. I'm so glad I was there for that because that was a full, all the way up.
Oh,
that was amazing. Yeah. That was epic. It was slow. It was fun. It was awesome.
Yeah,
that was serious.
Oh, we lost Craig
again.
Oh man,
this guy with his road stream wrecks. So at least we can still hear him. We can still hear you, Craig.
I think Biddle posted something like, "Is there other race boards coming out?" I'm assuming you mean like the hurricane or the monsoon. Is that what you're talking about?
Talk about that as an innovation because that's a pretty big innovation for a company. Well, you think about like Kieran, right? So Kieran, what was it? Was it a month and a half before eskate8con? He went, I can probably make something, and then he rocks up to eskate8con in Las Vegas, including shipping time, with 4 boards. Was it?
Yeah, 3 or 4 boards.
Yeah.
3 or 4 makeshift monsoon boards with a custom deck, and the enclosure wasn't finalized, obviously.
Right.
And now he's mass producing, and obviously got the relationship with
Mo.
Stooge, thank you.
Yeah.
Mo. And made this product. I mean, if that's not innovation, I don't know what is. Like you think about.
But that's why he pushes it, doesn't it? Yeah, for sure.
You think about Meepo from 3 years ago or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Look where they are now with hurricanes and voyages and envies and monsoons. And what they're doing next year is going to be awesome as well. So, yeah.
So my question with you, Scott, as well. I think, would you say that there's been more of a confidence with the Asian market, as such, with making products? Because I think the focus was making affordable products.
Yeah,
and now
what's driven that? What's driven that is the 2 companies we discussed earlier. Propel mainly, they drove that confidence with their customer service, and Astec by making amazing products. You know, they've reopened that door and reintroduced that segment of boards as far as, hey, we can make a board for $999. You know, you look at the Endeavor or whatever it was, the Pivot GT, sorry.
Yep.
$999, made in China, with a company that will speak to you, you know, during work hours in Chinese. And we've got two guys in America, Michael and the other guy. I forgot his name now. Shit. Russell, thank you. They really paved the road to show the other Chinese companies what was possible. And I think that's you know, you look at someone like OMW and even Backfire and Ace. Who else is out there? I'm trying to think. Tiny, definitely. I mean, Aiden's always been awesome at customer service.
Aiden's been always, yeah.
But the customer service point of it, that's what's bringing people back to having confidence in that market. Because, you know, again, like I said, like Meepo 3 years ago, you would take you a month to get a response, and then it would take you 6 months to get a battery or a bolt, and then they'd send the wrong remote.
Yeah.
You know, now it's you get a response within a couple of days if you deal directly with China, and you get a DHL label the next day. It's so different. They've finally understood the importance of customer service, which is what's going to drive their sales and their growth in the industry.
Dead air. What are we talking about here?
And I just stopped. I was like, am I frozen?
Yeah.
I literally was like,
Yeah.
Question
All right.
context.
I all strongly disagree. No.
No. Anyway, what about 2025? So obviously eskate8con is in end of March, start of April. Obviously, you know, some of us are going, some of us may not be. Hopefully the crew over in the US all turn up again, because I hope to see everybody, because I'm going to make the long trip yet again for my third time in a row, and I can't wait.
The proof will be on the pudding on the 1st of January to see how many tickets sell.
Yeah, so that's exactly right, Scott. I suppose for us here, the tickets do go on sale, I suppose, the afternoon. Is it the afternoon in Australia? The afternoon of the 1st, where
you can get race tickets in just in time.
Yeah. Well, in saying that, I am over 50, because I'll be nearly 52 then. So I will be racing if I can get myself sorted and get a board and everything organised. Obviously, there's a lot to go on between now and then. Organising a board is pivotal for Thomas, myself. Scott is lucky enough to already have been offered a board to ride if he goes. Thomas and myself will still be hands up. We'll obviously be looking to pick up a board to ride for the week we're there.
I'm riding the B-Buff LED room one, the kids board.
There you go.
Drew's lending it to me.
I've sent it over. But it's a carry on for me.
Drew's going to send across the Nalu for me.
Yeah, nice.
It's nice and slow for the old man who keeps crashing.
There's Taz. Taz is in the chat. Welcome, Taz. Well, good morning. You've just woken up, Taz. That's terrible.
Yeah, it's probably Western Australia. They're a bit slow over there.
Good morning, Taz.
Wait a while.
On the track, they're not.
Yeah.
G'day, Taz. How you going, buddy? So 2025. Where are we going with the year? What do you expect? I mean, I'm gonna probably dedicate myself more to the channel. Do more for Eskate Oz, bring back the podcast if I can get my crap together. Scott and I have started, obviously, the Eskate Oz YouTube channel, which we're going to do.
We need to dedicate more time to that.
Dedicate some more time to that. And maybe we'll get some videos from Thomas and Drew to go on that as well, which would be cool. That's me. Thomas, where are you at with everything? Because you know your videos have slowed down a little bit, but you're going to push back up again.
Yeah. So I'm going to probably get back onto my content. I have a lot of personal stuff behind the scenes that I'm working on, some of the guys know about. But yeah, for me, 2025, I want to kind of reach out to. I think I got a bit inspired with being out with Drew, and that is expanding my EV horizons into more directions, because I thought about this, and I thought that if I can look into, say, like I'm looking at e-bikes as well at the moment, and other things I'm working on in the background. It could link and bring those audiences together. So looking at the e-bike community, introduce e-boards, looking at EUCs and bring it all together, I think it expands on the horizons of different dynamics. So that's kind of one thing I'm really keen on doing in the new year, is kind of expand it. And I've spoken just behind the scenes, actually. I've got a local PV e-bike shop I'm going to be working with, which do e-bikes and stuff like that, but the range is awesome. And one of the things I'm keen to do, which I'm going to do, is they do kids e-bikes, which are like monkey
awesome.
bikes, and I am going to be riding one of those in the video. It's happening. It's happening.
Awesome.
Scott, 2025 for yourself, same as usual, because you slowed down a bit in the
slowed down
background.
a tiny. Oh, you know what? I tried to slow down, but I'm still doing a video a week at the moment. There's still lots. The thing is, I know what's. How do I say it? I know what's coming, and so I'm gonna keep making content for the good things. There's loads of things that I'm saying no to.
Yep.
The good stuff you just can't say no to, because it's you wanna show the world. I want my audience to be able to see it from my point of view.
Yeah, you're fighting your passion for what you do versus more personal.
Yeah. Obviously, we're getting super busy with my Monday to Friday job. That's exploding at the moment. But same as Thomas. Like, I've got a bike in the shed I need to get out of the box this holiday, actually, and it's a really cool bike. It's a bike that is brand new to Australia, so there's a really nice opportunity there to get that unboxed and so on.
Awesome.
And I think, again, to your point, Thomas, the EV scene has room to grow, and the hard thing is you can't get disheartened, because we are all eskate content creators, right? And if you go and make a scooter video or a bike video and it gets 100 views in a week, that sucks, right? Especially when your videos would normally get maybe 100, 500, whatever it is. But when you make a bike video and it gets no views, and yeah, that's my daughter. That really sucks.
It's killing it.
You look at someone like Jimmy Chang, who started on one wheels and then did a few EUCs, and then he got into bikes, and now he's at 150 subscribers, 150,000 subscribers.
150K, yeah, over 100K.
I think there's something to be said about sticking to your guns, and if you want to do EV and do bikes, just got to keep making the content. Don't worry if it only gets 100 views, but pepper it with the stuff that your current subscribers want. So make sure there's still eskate content in there, or link it to what your subscribers want. And that's what I'll be doing. So I've got some bikes. I've got some. I'm not going to do scooters. I can't stand scooters. But we've got some really cool EUCs coming. We've got some really cool bikes coming. But obviously, there's the bread and butter will still be eskate.
Yeah,
cool. Drew,
eskate8con, hopefully, and then hopefully working with Taz in Australia to get to more of the local Australia race events. Because I'm really disappointed I missed the last one. But hopefully next year we'll be able to get to most of them.
Yeah.
Speaking of Taz, we were having crap on him because he ran in late, and I just wanted to throw this up there. He's put in WA, and Australia loves this stuff. It means wait a while, obviously, in WA. So.
Wait a while.
Yeah, I mean, I think I kind of want to go backwards a little bit to 2024 and talk about the race scene. We didn't talk about Electrify Expo, we didn't talk about the Electric Race League. We didn't talk about the guys in Perth and stuff like that. And I think that it's interesting to see. I've only been in this for 2.5, 3 years now, and coming from the Meepo V3 hub board to 20S, 5P boards that are race board that are doing 50, 60 miles an hour. These things are just, it's nuts to see the technology, and I'm excited to see that going forward. And I like where the niche of eskate is, and it's branching even off into more niche things, like with the Parsec and with the Monsoon and things like that. Like it brings more people in. It's someone may not want to ride a 63-pound mountain board. Someone might only want to ride a lightweight board, and vice versa. And then someone who's like gets on a board and goes, I loved downhill racing, I want to get on a board that goes fast. They have the race boards that are out there now. So it's those situations that is really interesting to see that technology kind of push forward in that sense. I did a lot this year. I really pushed myself for content, to say the least.
The sigh. I did a lot.
It was reflecting back on just recap of everything like that. I think what was it, Thomas? In the month of October, I think I published 14 videos in the month of October.
We were sitting in the office, and you was like, I've done 12 videos in 3 weeks.
And it was 2 weeks. It was I was like, what the fuck am I doing? It was such a and I shoot weddings, I film commercial stuff, so it's not and I work a 9 to 5, so I literally burn the candle at 5 different ends. And so I love doing this, and I love making the content for people. And Craig and I were talking today about this too. It's you make 2 for them, 1 for you. And I think with the filmic, the cinematic stuff that I started doing now has been way more for me than it has been for anyone else. I just think that with the boards that come with me. I'm like, you know, you get a board and you're like, okay, it's a hub board, but it's got some unique features to it. You're like, what can I highlight? Like, and then you just go off a completely different tangent than what people do as a normal review. So I want to keep doing that. I want to keep pushing my cinema.
Wow, we've got a VIP in the chat. We've got a VIP in the chat. Kelsey, welcome, Kelsey.
And my wife, my beautiful, incredible wife.
I love her.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Benny.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And my wife, she's been incredibly supportive, and she hates me because I have about, you know, between scooters, e-bikes, and skateboards in this house. I think we're at I have enough battery power to charge our house for an entire year without even turning
or burn down the block.
Or burn this fucking place to the ground, and I will. So
who needs Elon Musk to go in and put a battery panel behind your house, right?
Oh my god!
So I mean, realistically, I want to keep pushing the industry forward. I want to keep getting people on PEVs. I Thomas said the same thing, and Scott the same way. It's like e-skating is my diehard. I started this channel for e-skating, but getting the opportunity to ride a scooter, getting the opportunity to ride an e-bike, an EUC, one wheels. There's so many other PEVs are out there, and they do something that an electric skateboard can't do. And there's stuff that there she is.
Her favorite bike.
She's gonna love
favorite bike.
Her favorite bike. There's so many opportunities out there for PEV to be able to take that opportunity. So I think going forward, being able to branch the channel just in PEV in general, make the Electric Legends channel go in that direction is where I'm going to go in 2025 and spend time with you guys. I mean, eskate8con for me this year is literally spending time with all of the people we've made friends with over the years. You know, the West Coast guys, the New York City guys, having you guys from all over the world come into all of us be in one spot is pretty amazing. And then be around something obviously that we all love, which is eskate. So we lost Craig. Jesus.
Craig again. You hear the sighs.
But yeah, it's one of those it's one of those things I'm that's 2025 for me is pushing the content creation and pushing the channel in a more, for me, cinematic way. So
can I just say an observer's perspective?
Can I get one?
Can
I get one question for Drew before we lose it? Because Benny's asked a couple of questions, and I know Drew probably knows more about it than anyone because I haven't even spoken to these guys. What's the deal with the Parsec remote? Have you seen it? Do you know what's happening with it?
Yes. So the ESC they're using is the similar ones you've seen in eskate and stuff like that. I mean, I don't want to talk too further on what behind the scenes are. They are coming out with another remote. I think they talked about that as well too. Cool. So it's your standard one you're going to be getting from the get-go. I think for the first batch of people, I want to say
and then they're shipping out the new remote later, aren't they?
Right. Yeah. So it's the typical eskate, Meepo later. I think it's the JK remote system. Yep. So you're going to get that, and it's that. And then they have designed a really unique, beautiful remote that's going to be coming out afterwards. And the same thing with eskate. Eskate is also doing the same thing too. So that's the other thing too, is you're going to see, everyone's innovated the boards. Now it's what else can we innovate as far as accessories, grip tape, remotes. So you'll start seeing that trickle through.
And the Parsec remotes weighs 1 kilo, right? No.
it's actually hovers next to you. That's how
it hovers. Yeah. And it's got anti-gravity field.
You're wired to the board. The big reveal.
Yeah.
You have to be wired to the thing.
You got to plug it in. Sorry, Thomas. What were you going to say before?
I was going to say, for I suppose a spectator's perspective for Drew, I feel and I think especially from my visit, I feel like you've kind of brought it back to grassroots a little bit and gone I'm instead of making my content, doing my reviews and what I know about bringing it down to grassroots and making it fun again.
Yeah. It's a pretty miserable world out there, guys. And if we can make someone laugh along the way and get some fun by going outside and being a kid again, I'm fucking 38 years old riding electric skateboards around and people watch me. So if I can make an ass of myself and make someone laugh along the ways with it, why the fuck not? So
I think that's one thing that I've got to try and bring in of my life a bit more is a bit more relaxed and fun and stupid because you're absolutely spot on, Drew. Life's too stressful, life's too hard, and we should be having fun rather than all the rest of it. So I'm just going to throw up a thing here. Jacob's throwing Craig does a feel at Parsec and Mach 1 main boundary pushes for this year. Jacob, we did talk about stuff earlier about innovators and so forth and innovation companies and stuff, but I do believe Parsec is definitely and innovation. And yeah, I think Mach 1 from Radiant Performance is definitely there, and also eskate. So if you want to go back and watch this, I'm gonna post this up so you can watch back later on. It's got all the information in it. The last one, guys, I'm gonna throw in here because we have gone over an hour, which I sort of expected but tried to not do because I know everyone's gonna have a life. Anything extra that you want to talk about? I'm gonna start this so you guys can finish. But I'm gonna say MDS, their new rank boards.
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave it at that because that's
cool.
anything extra I want to talk about. I do agree with all about racing, but that's it.
You've ridden it, right?
I have.
You're the only one. You're the only one who's ridden it out of all of us.
Your 30-second elevator pitch.
Yeah.
30-second elevator pitch. Highly nimble. I think realistically super stable. It's running all the same stuff as most people have been running on a lot of the DIY stuff. I've ridden with Dylan, and Dylan was trying to kill this thing for a week or two before I met up with him, and he's gouged the bottom of the deck out. Then the deck's held up so well. He's treating it like a snowboard. You know, he's grinding rocks, he's doing all sorts of crap because it's Dylan Bell, right?
Yep.
And we literally had a day out in the crappy weather and hell trying to film something, and I don't have anything other than praise for it. It's good. It's a great board.
Mr. Black is in the chat. We were just talking about you. Here's one question for you. One question for you, Greg. Does it feel like it's X-Way electronics, right? Does it feel like an X-Way?
Good question.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Thank God.
Okay.
And that's what I gotta say. It doesn't. I don't know. I really enjoyed riding this.
Which model did you ride again? Was it the 16.2 or the 16.4?
It was the 4, but Dylan talked with the young guy who looks after it down here, the Australian guy who obviously is MBS Australia.
Right.
He basically turned it to the 16.2 the morning of we went out and riding. So he actually changed over the battery to the smaller battery pack, and it was light. It was nimble. It is not a super light board, but for a mountain board or something to ride in that environment, which is going to take the punishment, it was really good. Anyway, that's me. Anything extra for you guys? Take it away, because my camera's going to go off and I'm going to get kicked out again.
No, I've got nothing extra. I've got nothing more to add. I think we've covered it off.
I've got a single question to the audience, which is, what would you want to see? One, would you like to see Drew's house? It's on fire!
Kelsey, we apologise for your husband.
No, honestly. Yeah, and luckily she knows what that is. Could you imagine that? Watching it in another room, be like, oh my God. No, so I think my question is to the audience. One, would you want these more often? Would you want to see Wolfpack lives more often? And also, would you want them on other channels as well? Like, would you be interested in that? And then secondly, what would you want from a Wolfpack meet in Vegas? What kind of things would you want to see? So that's in the comment section. So put that in the comments, guys. But there she is.
Here's my penguin. Here's my other one.
This is my Snorlax.
My other one.
Look, and I think that's
hey Porter.
Just for something extra. It is about family. We are an inclusive group. You know, it's hard to do this, and our families are very supportive. My kids are awesome and look after me a lot. So, hey guys,
setting fire to my house now.
I just want to say, Mo and everything he's doing with Stooge and the upgrades and the change of the boards and everything that are coming. I want to see more gear from Mad, and I want to see their 3-link trucks when Brian and the guys get those going out. Meepo killing it with the new board. So I really like the race scene growing. Dina and all of her support, obviously in the stuff. Mario doing all the support and training everybody in racing. The racing
when
scene,
I grow up, I want to be like Dina. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, me too. I think the racing scene's helping growing our industry, and I think without them, ignorant to say, we're here alone. They are really pushing the boundaries and bringing it to the world stage.
Yeah, and I think everyone's kind of kept onto the race scene, because you look at over in China right now, Begode is putting on an EUC international race, and all the big races are there.
Yeah,
this is the first time we've seen a company do a big thing like this, where they're actually you can buy an EUC at a discounted price, and if they'll help you ship it back, and they've got an on-road race and an off-road race. It's
They
insane.
crack the international PEV shipping. That's a big business model.
Yeah,
very scary.
And also,
lot to it, but can you imagine that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say, I'm really, really happy. Eskate8con has broadened their categories next year.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would agree with that too.
By having that second track, that demo track, it's now allowed them to bring the EUCs.
Important.
Bring the EUCs back, bring in a over 50s class. They're going to have more time for racing. It's going to be so much better.
I've seen the bank. They're saying bye.
All right, so anything else, guys? There was one more comment that came in. Biddle freaking insane being on the track with those guys, and then I think
I'm
the
just
other
saying
thing.
from my point of view, I'm very grateful for everyone being together today because we haven't had this for too long.
Yeah, it's been ages.
And thanks everybody for coming and jumping on my channel, and hopefully we'll have it on someone else's channel very soon. I want to do more of these because I miss you guys. I miss the community because we've all had a lot of chaos going on, but Christmas time, holiday time is about I suppose reconnecting with people we care about, and the Wolfpack is one of those. So anything else you guys want to say before we jump out? Because I think we've been an hour and 15 or something now. So
no. Yeah, really excited to see what's happening, and hopefully we do this again. That's really
remember to like and subscribe the video to the channels. Remember to follow everyone else's channels if you're not already. That's really important for all of us.
Yeah.
Because obviously it helps keeping our community growing and helps follow the Wolfpack because we are a group and we do look after each other as best we can, even though we are so far away from each other around the world. And we try and help the community best we can as well. So if you've got any information, questions, or anything else, fire them at us on all the socials. And I think that's pretty much going to be it, guys. So thank you very much. And love to see you all. Take care.
Bye.
Until next time. Stay right.
Get safe. We're home. You just got to do the disco code.
We are back, baby. We are fucking back. We're back. Classic.